Senator Joe Donnelly is back in the Hoosier State. The focus of today's agenda is to make sure that first responders are ready for a mass casualty event. It's a grim scenario, but a necessary exercise nonetheless.
Yeah, it's one of those scenarios that you look at and you go, God forbid, we hope it never happens. But if it does, we want to be ready for it. And so what we're doing is today up in Carmel at 10 o'clock, we're meeting with the various different responder groups to see, what is your role in this, and going through one after the other. So if it ever did happen, that from the first moment it occurred, everybody knows their role, takes care of what they're supposed to do, and we get it squared away as quickly as possible.
It's a timely exercise because I want to talk about what's going on overseas right now. The threat to the American embassy is happening. In fact, we've been telling people about breaking news about the embassy in Yemen being evacuated now. Your thoughts on this threat that's happening at our American embassies and consulates?
What we're doing is entirely consistent with being prudent and thoughtful. And what you say is, if that was my son or daughter, husband or wife working at that embassy, you would want us to step up and make sure that they are safe. And so with the information that we presently have, these are the steps necessary to protect our people and to protect our embassies, and so that's why we're doing it.
We've also been telling you this morning about this new kind of technology where you can dip clothing into liquid, and when the liquid dries, it becomes explosive, something that Al-Qaeda could be thinking about using. Your thoughts on when you heard about that?
Well, I serve on the Armed Services Committee, and so there's new and constant challenges all the time, and we work very, very hard to try to keep up with them and to counter them. And the best thing you can do is to be aware as you're going about your daily business, or if you are traveling especially, just to be aware of what's going on around you. And if you do, things will usually work out pretty well.
I want to go back to this training exercise. You had a chance to visit Muscatatuck.
I did.
And on Monday, and that is actually going to coincide with the training exercise for the mass casualty event. What did you take away from that? Let's say a community of buildings, of preparedness, for folks to learn from today.
Well, it is a training center for the entire country. We have over 6,000 people there, over 27 different state National Guards there that are working together and working on different scenarios so that they are prepared for any event. And by doing that, we are ready and we're prepared, and Indiana has become the center in the entire nation for this kind of activity. They were telling me yesterday that one of the military officers came up to go over a future operation at Muscatatuck. Couldn't find a hotel room within 50 miles. And so it's good for the economy, too.
That means it's working.
Yeah, and people from around the country are coming here because Indiana's doing it best.
Senator Joe Donnelly, always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you
Thanks
very,
for being
very
here
much
with us today.
Thank you.
Of course, today's event at 10 a.m. is open to the public at Carmel City Hall. If you have more questions or want to learn about the emergency preparedness exercise, you can show up to Carmel City Hall. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much.